What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're breaking down the latest episode of Table for Three entitled SmackDown Legends, featuring Rey Mysterio, JBL, and Booker T. This aired back on Friday. I didn't even know this was coming out until I saw the graphic on late Thursday night. I don't really look at what's coming to the network and Peacock these days because they don't really offer a lot of new content beyond, original content and Raws and promotion shit and whatever. Raw Talk, SmackDown Lowdown, stuff like that. The last Table for Three they probably did was a month ago. And again, they don't do them often, but they do them once a month now. They're probably just airing all the old content for Mania weekend. We haven't gotten a new Broken Skull Sessions in a while. They were doing it monthly for a few years in a row, for quite a long time. And we have not had a new episode since August. So I don't know what's going on with Stone Cold and why they're not doing new episodes. But anyway, this was good stuff. JBL opens up the episode by saying that Booker T did nothing in that Bad Bunny music video entitled Booker T. And Booker said that he was happy to be paid to do nothing. He didn't have to do anything. It's the art of pro wrestling is being paid to do nothing. And I think we can all wholeheartedly agree with that no matter what walk of life you come from. I think that is really the epitome of making it. Being paid to do nothing. Booker recalls attempting to get Taker at one point to do the Spinaroonie in a dark segment many, many years ago, which they show the footage of, and he wasn't successful, but Vince did do the Spinaroonie in an attempt to get Taker to crack, which he did, and Taker fucking hated Booker for that, because Taker never cracked back then. Ray says that he's hard on Dominic, who has it easier than he did 20 years ago, many, many years ago, not even 20, but 30, 40 years ago, breaking into the business, and how he had it a lot harder than Dominic does currently. There's just a big difference there. JBL actually recalls Corbin coming up to him and asking him intelligent questions. And the interesting thing about this was that, again, like I mentioned a moment ago, this was recorded over Mania weekend. And they show the footage of JBL introducing Corbin, and that was from a few weeks ago when he reintroduced him to the Raw roster about a month ago. That was well before they joined together. This was filmed back in April. So Corbin and JBL are now an on-air act, maybe because of that, and I thought that was interesting. Booker says that Cena was a prime example of someone who took the advice that veterans gave him and made himself better as a result. Calls Cena a good listener. JBL praises Cena as well for all the many matches they had in 2005 over the WWE Championship. Even John Cena actually gave Dominic advice when Ray and Dominic were teaming with Cena and the many TV and dark match segments after SmackDown would go off the air in the summer of 2021. JBL says it's emotion over movement. Nowadays, not everyone, but some people kind of favor movement over emotion and going for big moves when you can't capture the emotion of the audience. Emotion is more important, and I would agree with them. A movement isn't bad, but emotion is paramount. I completely agree with that. Booker talks getting advice back in the day from Blackjack Lanza, and how I think it was probably early on in his WWE career. And the story was basically that after a match one day at a house show or whatever, he walked out too quickly, clapped the hands of the fans after losing, and Lanza was like, "What are you doing? You got to sell it." The next night, do the exact same match, but when you're done, wait to get up until the heel has left, or your opponent has left. Slowly make your way up, slowly make your way out, as if your best friend just died. And he thought he was crazy, but Booker did it, got this massive reaction, gets goosebumps talking about it, and it worked. Lanza knows what he's talking about. I've heard a lot of Lanza stories lately. I know Jericho shared a story about it on his podcast a few days ago as well. Rey Mysterio says that it's always good to adapt. JBL talks about how Scotty 2 Hotty tried the worm for the first time, and it worked. I think in a match either with JBL or Farouk or whoever from 20 or so years ago. JBL says it's always important to do the honors for people on your way out. It includes Vader in that conversation. Before even getting to that about Vader and how Vader actually requested to put over JBL in Vader's final match in WWE, Vader asked JBL one time about doing a moonsault in a match with Taker and how he wondered, and this is such a 2022 mindset of this would happen today. Vader wondered if he could do a moonsault into Taker's tombstone, and he was like, "Oh, Taker's strong enough, it could work, right?" And JBL was like, yeah, of course. And then he could see from a distance Vader talking to Taker. He hears him out, and then Taker just slaps him on the knee and walks out. And then Vader's like, "What do you think he thought?" And then JBL said, "He loves it, of course. Of course it sounds like he loves it." And then Taker came up to JBL later and said, "Have you been riding with JBL, or have you been riding with Leon," that being Vader, which I thought was a really funny story. JBL also talked about how he put over Rey Mysterio in his final match, both of his final matches, one in 2006 and then again in 2009 at WrestleMania 25 for the Intercontinental Championship. Booker T says that he's remembered most for being beat up in a grocery store by Stone Cold Steve Austin, showing why it's more about the moments than even the matches themselves. JBL praised Rey Mysterio. He praises Rey Mysterio and how Rey can show emotion through a mask. Rey talks about that process. JBL also praises Booker T. And Booker says that they are where they are today because it's all about putting in the work. And then JBL says, well, let's send the check of this of our dinner here on Table for Three to Michael P.S. Hayes and call it a day. And then Rey says, that means let's get some shots before we do that, which was great. Really funny episode here, really, really entertaining stuff, some good stories. No real rhyme or reason for what they were talking about, like no direction. It was really just three guys shooting the shit about their careers and coming up in the business and stuff like that. And their common theme throughout the three was that they were SmackDown legends. JBL, Booker T, and Rey Mysterio, all synonymous with SmackDown. So I enjoyed the episode. I love when they put out these episodes of Table for Three, and they're always great, and they always deliver, and this was no exception. Very fun 23-minute episode. Check it out right now on WWE Network and on Peacock as well. We'll be back soon with more WWE Network content, reviews, stuff like that. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content, including checking out my Tales from the Territories reviews. We got a #AskGSM, WrestleRant Radio excerpts, interviews, Raw Talk reviews, SmackDown Lowdown reviews, and so much more right here on the channel, live reactions, and a ton more. So if you haven't already, please hit that bell button to be notified every time a new video goes up. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.